For tracking some breaking news at this hour, sources have indicated that a senior leader has communicated to TVK that Vijay will not be alone if targeted by the DMK. Important information coming in now. As per a source, communication has occurred between the two leaders recently. It's important information coming in. This is in reference to BJP leaders speaking to the TVK chief Vijay. Now, as per sources, the BJP leader has spoken to TVK and that Vijay will not be alone if he is targeted. This is what our sources are telling us. Now, as per sources, communication has occurred between the two recently. The communication, while it has been brief, but has assured Vijay and advised him that if he is targeted by the DMK, then he will have the BJP support. Important information coming in that Vijay also, remember, in his first statement had thanked political leaders who supported him. Now on this, my colleague Vasudha joining us on the telecast. Now Vasudha, what is the latest that we're tracking on this story?
Well, that's the TVK who have said that there has been a line of communication between the BJP and TVK. BJP has established this line of communication recently. A call was made by one of the senior leaders of the party, TVK, specifically Vijay. It has to be said this is also an opportunity for the DMK to corner Vijay, and it really does not want that. It also has its own assessment where it knows that Vijay has emerged as an important factor in the last few months, specifically with regard to Vijay's popularity and his oratory skills. So what I've been given to understand is that BJP has also given this assurance to Vijay that if he's unfairly targeted by the DMK, he will not be standing alone. That's the sort of assurance that's been given to the with the actions that the BJP has taken in the last few days, specifically by sending this NDA delegation to Karur immediately. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, who also hails from Tamil Nadu, also travelled to Karur. She met with victims. So this is the NDA government, the BJP Modi government, also trying to show the people of Tamil Nadu that it is proactive when it comes to governance in Tamil Nadu. At the same time, it also wants to reach out to Vijay, who's an important X factor in this election, by telling him that he's not alone in this. And in fact, all the BJP leaders have also been in some ways blaming the DMK administration, because at the end of the day, DMK is the elected government in Karur and it cannot really walk away from the responsibility of the stampede that occurred in Karur, in the TVK rally. So what I'm told to understand is that a line of communication has been established. A senior leader has spoken to TVK leadership, and Vijay has been given this sense of assurance that he will not be standing alone. And the BJP also, by its own assessment, understands that several young voters from Tamil Nadu are inclined towards voting for Vijay. At the same time, a lot of these other parties like DMK, or for that matter even NTK, will also have voters moving away from their own parties to somebody like Vijay. So the BJP also politically senses an opportunity to sort of make an important mark, to make a more critical mark in Tamil Nadu, even as elections come up next year.
Right, absolutely, Vasudha. In fact, let me also take this to my colleague Veera Raghav, who joins us on the phone line. Veera, help us understand the political implications of this correspondence that has occurred between, of course, the BJP and the TVK.
This is pretty much every political party trying to fish, if I may put it this way, on Stampede waters. Post-Stampede, they want to see if the TVK will recalibrate its stance. Remember, the TVK has been extremely aggressive against the DMK and the BJP. Will this make the party a little more mellow in terms of its attack? How is it going to work on the way forward? Because the Stampede and the tragedy, as enormous as it is, has exposed several organizational flaws for the TVK as well. You heard Congress leaders sending out a message of Rahul Gandhi reaching out to the TVK. Now you're hearing of BJP leaders being in touch with the TVK TVK seeking a CBI probe. That in fact, Vijay, in his message or video message, had thanked all leaders who had expressed support to him or expressed concern and grief over the incident. We'll have to wait and see how this is, but for the moment, it's highly speculative. But how this will play out. But one thing is very clear, that the TVK, given Vijay's stance so far and its large minority vote base, would find it very difficult to have any kind of optics of overtly warming up to either the BJP and because it's taken on the DMK to the DMK in Tamil Nadu. But will there be a tacit understanding? How will this play out in the coming days would be very interesting to watch. Obviously, every political force in the country and in Tamil Nadu is watching to how the TVK will evolve from here on closer to the 2026 elections.
Right, absolutely, Veer, and also help us understand that, what sort of implications has, of course, the Karur tragedy had, what sort of implications has it had on TVK as a party and, its perception by people on the ground?
One, it is exposed that the TVK doesn't have a very strong party organization structure. It's still a party that revolves around one star and his popularity. Now, that popularity and that star image may not have really taken a very huge beating because of such an enormous tragedy. But the question of what kind of a party is there, do they have an organization structure and boots on the ground to ensure both organization and a structure for having events of this nature is something that's been questioned. That's a big question mark. Second, what about its strategy? What about its response, ability to respond to a situation of this nature? What about a second line of leadership? There's not been a single second line leader who's been able to take the bull by its horns and face the media and come out in public and address press conferences. It's all revolved around Vijay. So that's another question. And the third and most important question is that how does the TVK evolve from here on? Does it realize? Remember, actors like Vijay Kant, who had come into politics in 2006, had seasoned politicians like Panroti Ramachandran and other strategists who were part of the party itself. Should the TVK now categorically display a second line of leadership? Those are questions before the TVK. But the most important is, how will it play its politics from now on? Because everyone's watching for the TVK and how it will evolve as a political force. And in Tamil Nadu, it's categorical that you need to build or be part of an alliance if you want to really win seats in the state. So how will the TVK play its game from now on? What's going to be its political strategy? Will this stampede and the allegations between the DMK and the TVK define the 2026 battle? Those would be crucial questions. And how is Vijay's campaign going to evolve from now on? When is he going to be back on track? When is he going to be able to meet the victims of the Karur tragedy? Several questions, and all those will determine the road ahead for the TVK.
There are certain important questions raised by you, and I also wish to ask you about the DMK, since you've mentioned it, of course, that it is a contest between, the TVK and the DMK. Of course, there are other parties like the AIA-DMK as well. So, which is why I wish to understand from you, what sort of reaction has come about from the DMK, given the fact that, even before the tragedy occurred, Udaynidhi Stalin was hitting out at Vijay and calling him a weekend politician.
Look, there is one part of political allegations, but the other is actually action. If you look at the DMK, which has filed cases against the TVK's second-run leadership for the tragedy, there have been questions asked even by DMK's allies like the VCK on why they have not taken the battle to Vijay in terms of a case. While the DMK has been making sharp political allegations, they have been very calibrated in taking the action against Vijay, because the moment you start taking legal action, even amongst his second-run leaders, there has not been any arrest so far. So there is a very nuanced approach from the DMK as far as the tragedy is concerned. I think the party was clear. It wanted to take the high moral ground by being there in full force as far as the DMK is concerned, and wanted to shift the blame entirely on Vijay and his party's organization for the tragedy, saying that the government is not responsible for it, because in a tragedy of this scale, the first responsibility also falls on the state government as far as ensuring that lives are not lost. As far as the AIDMK is concerned, the AIDMK has been sending out mixed signals as far as Vijay is concerned, though Edappadi Palanichami and the AIDMK leadership has been taking him on. That's primarily because Vijay, they do not want to be seen as one willing to woo Vijay into an alliance. They don't want an alliance of equals. They believe that they are the principal opposition party and they'd like to Vijay join as a number 2 force, it may be. The rest of the smaller political forces, which have often contributed to Tamil Nadu's arithmetic, are closely calibrating their strategies. Many of them, including parties like the Congress, remember, will have to get into seat sharing, bargaining with the DMK. And they would like to see this three-cornered, three-force situation in Tamil Nadu as a possibility for increasing their bargaining power.